Hi, this is my first video on the Caldwell Velociradar that I purchased on my own and is no way a paid advertisement for the product. I'd like to give you my thoughts on the product, the good, the bad, and there's not really too much ugly. First things first, I purchased this from Shields for $400. I actually applied for a credit card and I got $75 off on that, so it made it extremely economical. This has been the first time I used the unit, and I will be using it again and probably will post videos on the results after that. First thing I like to start off with is setting up the unit. The unit is very important to have the peep sight directly on whatever the target would be down to 100 yards. It's very important because the radar actually follows that particular trail, and the projectile has to follow that trail all the way to the end to get proper calculations. If the projectile basically veers off from the radar, you're going to get an error with the unit. I also used the acoustic trigger. I did not use the remote control trigger. I had no problems using that. First things first, it generally tells you to have the unit either even with the muzzle or a little bit behind it. I actually had it in front of the unit. It made more sense for the way we were using it, and it seemed to work fine. The other thing is we did use a muzzle brake with one of the firearms. And I'm assuming that you're going to have to be very careful using a muzzle brake, since this is a rather large unit, and most likely it's going to get a lot of back pressure from the muzzle. As far as the readings went, it basically told pretty much where I was expecting to come into. We did have one issue with a projectile where we got a bad, basically bullet coefficient. We have to investigate that. The other coefficients seem to be okay. I did use the unit with rifles and with pistols and really had no issues at all as far as that went. The other big unit besides the ballistic calculator on that one round is the unit's rather big. I did not use the tripod that comes with the unit, which is extremely small. I used a big tripod for a camera. One thing I'd like to say is, for ease of use, is to download the app on your phone. It actually makes controlling the unit a lot easier. You don't have to touch the unit. You can control the unit by your phone. Basically, I really didn't have any issues except for one of, I think what happened is the unit timed out and I had problems trying to reconnect the phone to the unit, but actually it says in the instructions if you tap it like a couple of times, it should reconnect, and it actually did wind up doing that. The basic thing you want to do is when you do get or download the app, is you want to load in the armory section any kind of firearms you would have, pistols, firearms, bows, etc., and what kind of projectile you're using. It's very important to put the weight of the projectile in for the bullet coefficient calculations. And one quirk I found with adding firearms or projectiles to the armory is there's a plus tab at the very top right hand corner. If you hit that, you should when the next screen comes up, it should be blank. And I was finding what was happening is I would put either a firearm or projectile in, and when I hit the plus, that projectile or firearm was still there, and if I retyped it, it would basically do away with the pre-existing load I had. What I found you wind up doing is click the very top, either firearm or projectile, go into it, back out of it, and then hit the plus, and then you should have a blank screen. The other thing you wind up doing is when you want to start the unit, you click strings and you hit the plus button up top right hand corner, and you put the firearm you have and the projectile you're using, and then you say start string and the unit will be ready to go. That's pretty much it for actually using the unit as far as the ease of using it goes. My conclusion would be from our first using the unit first time out, I seem to be happy with it. I will report on subsequent trips of what I actually find other quirks that happened or positives that happened. And if you have any additional questions or actually have any tips for anyone out there, please leave them in the comments below. And thank you for watching the video.
This has been a Rusty Pud presentation.